Greetings everyone, this is Vakar Korvi from TFT Perspective, and today we are going to discuss the Pakistani diaspora living abroad. It's a large number, and how it is impacted lives of their communities who got settled, how they contributed to those countries, and what is their importance in Pakistan. Also, what are the demographics? Because it's a very large diaspora. If you calculate the Pakistani born or Pakistani origin people, so it's more than 10 million. So this is a huge number. If you look at Europe, it's I think even larger than some of the Scandinavian countries combined, and they are doing very well. So there's a list of their I think achievements in all those countries. Now, if you look at the concentration, it's mostly in Middle East. Saudi Arabia has about 1.9 million. Then you have UK is 1.7 million. United Arab Emirates 1.7 million. Then United States is there are different figures. Some people say it's 700,000. Some say that it's now touching 1 million because these are from the old census. Then of course we have Kuwait, Canada, Oman, Qatar, uh, and Spain, and also Australia and South Africa. So this is quite widespread. And now we also have Pakistanis getting concentrated in China and some of the eastern seaboard, and then of course even in South America, like Brazil and Chile has substantial population of Pakistani origin people. Now coming to let's say their performance in the Middle East, there are, I think, Pakistanis who are now billionaires, tycoons doing business, also contributing in the field of medicine. Then we move to, let's say, if you go to North America or Europe, you have great successes like people like Shahid Khan, who are in the Forbes top 500 billionaires. And then, of course, we have Pakistani doctors in North America. If you look at Apna figures, there are 18,000 out of that, I think. 17 or 16,000 are working in United States, and they have a very high score as far as their reputation, and they're considered to one of the best doctors. Then, even in the field of, let's say, military, and we did mention, I think, last time, we had Captain Humayun Khan, who was a Pakistani American, laid his life for US in Iraq War in 2004 and was posthumously awarded Bronze Star. Papaland family is known as the Gold Star family, and they became quite famous, the Khan family, when there was some, I think, altercation with Donald Trump in the last campaign. uh, and in the United States, we look at the concentration is in New York, Texas, California, Illinois, Virginia, New Jersey, Maryland, Florida, and coming to Pennsylvania, Michigan, Massachusetts, and North Carolina. So again, especially along the eastern seaboard or along the western seaboard and Texas. We also have Pakistani origin people in Hollywood. I think we did mention about Kumail Ali Najani, who's from Sindh and is doing very well, been on the HBO, etc. And then, of course, our businessmen, philanthropists, uh, and so on and so forth. If you come to UK, they are very active, even in politics. You find people in the House of Lords, House of federal ministers, or the union ministers. So all told, this is I think a great success story. We also heard stories of Pakistani during COVID, like some people who were with the cabs business in Spain, helping doctors and nurses by giving them free ride. Lately, there have been, I think, some movement in diaspora related to one particular party. There have been, I think, affiliations to different political parties. Every party has their chapters there, but by and large, their conduct remains, within, let's say, political norms and the normal, I would say, difference of opinion or dissent. But now, there are certain people in the diaspora who are basically projecting that probably diaspora is against, let's say, the Pakistani state at present, especially against the establishment. And they are now trying to basically use social media. We have seen even impacting, Pakistan's relation with some of the countries. Most pronounced is North America, and I always give example that you will not listen to such noises from, let's say, friendly countries. China, Russia, let's say Pakistani diaspora, Middle East. There is a great check for any kind of political activity which can harm the relation between two countries. Africa, Southeast Asia, even by and large Europe. So the main concentration of this narrative is coming from United Kingdoms and North America, mainly mainland corners, continental US and Canada. Uh, I think the diaspora knows that they are the ambassadors of Pakistan. So in case, because of political, let's say, differences, some of them, I would say they are not even 5% of the total diaspora, because diaspora is, like I told you, more than 10 million people all across the world, and even in United States and United Kingdom, all told, they are closer to, one can say, closer to 3 million. So it means that if there are a couple of YouTubers or groups or pressure groups, which may be in a couple of thousand, they don't represent millions of Pakistanis in North America and Europe. So they are the ambassadors of Pakistan. But these, I think, I would say, social media activists have tried to undermine actual interests of Pakistan by calling for, let's say, boycott of remittances. Despite that, remittances are definitely for the benefit of Pakistan, but also for their own families. A lot of, I think, people in diaspora support their families, their loved ones in Pakistan. So it means, and then Pakistan also, if you look at the, let's say, account special provisions in Pakistan banking system, they do get a lot of advantage by having their, let's say, foreign exchange sent to Pakistan. I feel that we should be looking at a unified vision as it was in the past and represent Pakistan as their ambassadors. And definitely we are more loyal to our own motherland, at least of our forefathers. And in case you are have an oath of allegiance, you are loyal to that country. There's no harm in that, which should not be at the cost of Pakistan. There is a wave of I think, I would say, right wing politics happening now in North America and Europe, which is actually very, very disturbing. We've discussed a number of time how right wing or neo Nazis are now actually going to work against any kind of immigrant, especially in North America. In Germany, we have AfD, Alternate for German Deutschland party coming up, which is totally neo Nazis. In Italy, we already have, I would say, a right wing government. Hungary, France may be having, National Frontier, Front National of Marine Le Pen to take over in a couple of years. And in US, we already have the MAGA crowd who are now targeting actually, let's say, Indian community, and maybe they start targeting the Pakistani community. The lesson learned is that in case you have strong bondage with your motherland, that's also your fallback position. That is your strategic depth. So you should always remember that there could be a reason that you or your kids and kins have to maybe move back. We'll not actually pray for that, but there could be situations. And then, is of course, in case you are having bondage with your own country and motherland, definitely you have an advantage in the, let's say, your adopted nations also, because ultimately the community being united and then having affiliation, like Indian community, I've seen they are quite united, irrespective of whatever they are getting. So it should be basically playing a role of bridge between Pakistan and those countries, and they've already done a wonderful job. And there's a history of Pakistanis going abroad, studying, like even our forefathers, Qaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Allama Iqbal, studied in European universities, and then they brought back those ideas and fought for the struggle of Pakistan. And then, of course, there is a series of success of Pakistani entrepreneurs, businessmen, uh, uh, even people in academia, in entertainment industry, in let's say hospitality industry, in the military, and also now in politics. But if you look at especially Europe, you have now Pakistanis rising up to ranks of ministers, and maybe tomorrow in the United States also you find a Pakistani born contesting to become a governor or the president of the United States. So all told, I think diaspora is our pride, and we would love for their, I would say, contribution to Pakistan and being ambassador. But do remember that ultimately it's your motherland, and you should not be going against interest of Pakistan. Difference of opinion is always welcome, and is always, I think, it gives you ideas, but should not be at the cost of Pakistan. Thank you very much.